for G-Force. So I'm just going to quickly give you a presentation of what we're all about, and then I'm going to go into our actual presentation for this conference. So G-Force, a college degree is not a sign that one is a finished product, but an indication a person is prepared for life. And Reverend Edward A. Malloy. So what is G-Force? G-Force is a network of students and volunteers committed to achieving a college-going culture by supporting the Go-centered efforts. We're also a network of students located in public colleges, universities, and technical schools all across Texas. What's a Go-Center? A Go-Centers are local centers of energy and effort that focus on creating a college-going culture and promoting college awareness in the surrounding community. So very similar to Generation TX. Go-Centers provide students with access to info about higher education. Our mentors. Collegiate G-Force mentors are resourceful current college students who assist area high schools, community centers, summer camps, and other college prep programs by providing and mentoring opportunities in order to encourage all students to pursue an education beyond high school. The role of us mentors, we help create the drive in other students to go to college. We also raise awareness among students and their families on the value of higher education. We show them how to prepare academically and financially for college, and motivate students to successfully pursue that higher education. And we also develop and disseminate info to students regarding important dates and deadlines, like the FAFSA, scholarships, stuff like that. For more info, you can go to collegeforalltexans.com or closingthegaps.com, and then our contact info is Ms. Leticia. We have a little brochure that has all this info on it as well, so you don't have to write it down. Okay. Here is the basic rule for winning success. Let's mark it, define, and remember it. The rule is success depends on the support of other people. David Joseph Schwartz said that. So, we're doing this presentation basically to educate y'all as to why you should support and why it is important to support Generation Texas. So, in order for students to aspire or to start making wise decisions, it's necessary for them to have a role model and support from the community, school, or family. This will guide the students to a college-going philosophy, changing their lives and the people around them. So why is it important to be part of the movement? Rigorous academic preparation is not sufficient. 78% of high school students actually want to go to college. I thought that was kind of crazy. You never really hear facts like that of how many people want to go to college. You just kind of hear how many people do. Social support is critical in improving academic achievement, raising expectations, and increasing college-going rates of underserved students. 9 out of 10 students surveyed by the University of Chicago hope to go to college, but fewer than half, 48%, had the grade point average, ACT scores, and coursework that would actually allow them to attend college. So this is where the support comes in. The presence of a caring teacher, school staff member, or individual in the community who knows a student well and demonstrates concern for his or her advancement is a potent ingredient in nurturing both personal and academic growth. The most common misperceptions, meeting high school graduation requirements will prepare me for college. The region, I think his name was Ty, I believe. Yeah, Ty kind of talked about that as to why we are transitioning into that STAR, because high school grad requirements just aren't sufficient anymore for the preparation of college. It's easier to take easy classes in high school and get better grades. Huge mistake. I went to a really small school, and lot of people who thought that was the way to go. Just take those easier classes, and then, some of them couldn't really handle, they weren't prepared for college. So it was really difficult for them. My senior year in high school doesn't matter. I've heard that by a lot of students, and it just amazes me, or not amazes me, just kind of takes me back, because my senior year was my most important year in my eyes. Back when I graduated, you didn't have to have like the 4 years of English, math, science, and history. Sorry. You didn't have to have all 4 of each one. So after my junior year, I was done with both math and science. But I still took them my senior year because to me it was really important for me to be prepared for college. Because if you miss out on just a year, you miss out on so much. Your SAT scores, you try and take it again your senior year, it's probably not going to be as good as what it was your junior year when you were consistently doing math, science, such. I don't have to worry about my grades or the kind of classes I take until my sophomore year. Freshman year is just as important. They wouldn't put it with high school if they didn't think so, in my opinion. And community colleges don't have academic standards. I don't know where that's from. I think they do. Obviously, community colleges are just there to make it easier and I guess kind of like less scary from a 4-year public university like big old Texas Tech. A lot of people might not feel comfortable with that, so they might want to go down to like South Plains College because it's just a lot more, I guess, home environment. It's a lot more of their environment, so it's not as scary, and it's a great stepping stone. If you come from a really small school, I came from Glen Rose. It's a 3A, really small 3A school. So coming to Tech was really scary, and I considered community college at first, but I didn't consider it because I believe that they didn't have academic standards. So, how to begin? The first stages. There's 2 questions you need to ask. What specific problems need to be addressed? Before a mentoring program can be established, it's important to know what problems the program will seek to work with. And the other question is, how will the program be led and coordinated? Mentoring programs need leaders to help plan and coordinate the program. Any mentor program that lacks good leadership and coordination will fail. It's sad, but it will. You have to have that coordination, that leadership. Nothing's ever going to get done if you don't have someone step up and be that leader. Mentoring can be done in groups or one-on-one. This practice can occur as part of in-class activities, community programs, after-school or summer residential programs, and internships. Programs should begin by building awareness among key stakeholders in the community. Doing so early will foster a buy-in and commitment from groups and individuals that are critical to the program's success and will help to identify potential members of the core planning team. So this is still just the beginning stages. The importance of support from the top. Mentoring programs receive an added boost when top people are directly involved. The superintendent of schools who sets aside 2 hours every week for a troubled student, or a principal who never misses a mentoring session, even a CEO of a large corporation who just makes a commitment to a year-long mentor relationship. Each of those sends a very powerful message to potential mentors, and that the program actually does matter, that it's important. It's not just kind of like that hobby that you look at, once every 6 months, that it is important. Successful programs all contain one key similarity: strong relationships between the mentor and the mentee. It can't just always be about school, how did you do your FAFSA, did you do your scholarships, stuff like that. Mentoring also has to deal with making that connection. You have to make that connection, because if you don't, then the student, one little thing that you say will just turn them off completely. and then they're not going to listen to anything else their mentor has to say, even if they know that they're right. Lasting benefits. Well-planned and well-executed programs have profound effects, particularly on at-risk youth. Mentoring relationships that last over a year foster strong relationships that benefit youth, whereas mentoring relationships that last less than 6 months tend to actually do harm. Also, volunteer mentoring relationships can positively influence a range of outcomes, including improvements in peer and parental relationships. Who wouldn't want to improve the relationship between a parent and son or daughter? Exactly. Academic achievement, who wouldn't want better grades? And self-concept, as well as lower recidivism rates among juvenile delinquents and reductions in substance abuse. Now, there's different types of mentoring programs. One of those is educational. Students in mentoring programs are more likely to attend, and not only attend, but also graduate from college. They're also less likely to skip classes and tend to have a better attitude towards their school and their teachers. Another one is health and safety. Youth in mentoring programs are less likely to experiment with drugs and alcohol. They are also less likely to be violent or be arrested. And minimizing destructive behavior provides students with a greater likelihood to attend college. And lastly, social. Students in mentoring programs maintain better relationships with parents, teachers, and peers. Mentoring also provides support that students do not always receive in the home, particularly when focusing on going to college. Like, back in my town, we have a huge, it's not necessarily a problem, but parental involvement in education with underserved students is a big issue because most people who are underserved, their parents are working until 8 p.m., 6 p.m., whatnot, and so then the children go home from school and no one's there, or the babysitter's there. The babysitter doesn't really care about their grades unless, the parents tell them, hey, make sure that my kids are doing their homework, stuff like that. So it's really easy for students to just kind of get away from that academic achievement and all that if the involvement isn't there in the home. And also, this is just basic knowledge, people who hang out, like high school seniors, who hang out with friends that are all planning on going to college will be more likely to attend college themselves, even if they weren't thinking about it to begin with. Just because in youth now, the peer pressure, it can actually sometimes be a great thing. If all of your friends are going to college, and then there's one person who didn't even think of college, they were just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to go work. And they weren't ever thinking about it, but all their friends were, saying, oh, well, I'm going to Texas Tech. Oh, well, I'm going to UT. Well, what are you doing? Then they're kind of like, oh, well, I guess I should get on that. So it's more likely for someone to attend college if all of their peers, and if they just have that general support. Comments or questions? And I did that kind of fast. Okay, I think he rose his hand first. How many schools in the region are we currently in?